Once adored as the vivacious Duchess who brought joy to the royal family, Sarah Ferguson's life has now turned into a cautionary tale. The Duchess of York's journey from palace status to scandal and shame is chronicled here. Sarah Margaret Ferguson wed Prince Andrew in July 1986, leaving Britain with a duchess who seemed to be the picture of relatability, humour, and kindness. Because she wasn't the polished aristocrat the royal family was used to, she was adored by the masses. Because she was lively, red-haired, and grounded, her nickname Fergie was the perfect way to contrast with the rigid upper lip of royal tradition. She and Andrew seemed to be part of the royal future. Nonetheless, picture books omit certain aspects of fairy tales. And Sarah's happily ever after was on the verge of disintegrating in front of the world. As Prince Andrew's naval career kept him gone for months at a time, the distance between husband and wife grew. Sarah, on the other hand, began to blaze her own trail, attending galas, supporting organizations, and deviating more from royal conventions. According to reports, the Queen disapproved of her informality and spending patterns. Sarah was apparently struggling to fit in. By the early 1990s, the marriage was essentially completed in private, even though they were still officially the Duke and Duchess of York. Then, in the summer of 1992, the scandal that would haunt her for the rest of her life emerged. In August 1992, one of the most shocking royal scandals of the 20th century was captured on camera. The Duchess of York was on vacation in Sanrope with her two young daughters, Beatrice and Eugenie, and her American financial advisor, John Bryan. As the girls played close by, the Duchess was spotted relaxing topless on a sunbed as Bryan sucked her toes and kissed her. The images appeared on every top page in Britain within hours. Fergie made news for his awkward toe-sucking. The timing couldn't have been worse. Prince Andrew was serving the Queen abroad, and the monarchy was already in turmoil because to Charles and Diana's crumbling marriage. The royal family was reportedly furious. Rumour has it that chaos broke out at the Queen's summer retreat in Balmoral.
Delete it, please, that bit, because I don't want to go down this.
Duchess, I'm asking very fair questions of you.
No, it's too tabloidy.
John is Sarah's Australian agent, off-screen.
This is everything you've written in your book, though.
Yes, I know, but it's
and you're
the way
releasing your book, and you've agreed to do the interview.
The book has already been released.
Fergie's royal life came to an end at that same moment. The separation became final, even though she and Prince Andrew would continue to be officially married for 4 more years. The public's affection started to wane, and she was no longer permitted to attend formal royal events. Fergie's name would become inextricably linked with scandal after that. Sarah was left to fend for herself financially after the split. She had to deal with growing debt and dubious commercial endeavors without the reliable security of royal funds. Unpaid bills, extravagant vacations, and extravagant spending were all covered by tabloids. Former employees spoke of lavish feasts in the style of Henry VIII, where money was not a concern, even when it ought to have been. To restore her reputation, she sold her narrative to publications, accepted commercial endorsements, and even made appearances on discussion shows on American television. However, her efforts to remain current frequently landed her in the middle of more intense controversies. She was implicated in a cash-for-access incident in 2010 when she offered to provide a journalist pretending to be a businessman access to Prince Andrew in exchange for $500,000. She was embarrassed by the sting operation once more, demonstrating how her desire to be seen often led her into ethical and professional danger zones. In 2025, fresh information came to light just when it appeared that Sarah had exhausted all possible avenues to bring shame upon herself. This time it was Jeffrey Epstein, the late, notorious financier. According to emails that surfaced, the Duchess wrote to Epstein in 2011 after severing her relationship with him in public, describing him as her loyal, kind, and best friend. She also expressed regret for her earlier media criticism of him. The British public was shocked by the disclosure. Overnight, charities broke off ties. The public lost faith. Insiders at Buckingham Palace were reportedly horrified, calling it the ultimate humiliation. Although Fergie later stated that she wrote the email merely in response to Epstein's threats to ruin her family and reputation, the harm had already been done. She was firmly established as one of the most poisonous individuals associated with the royal brand due to her prior affiliation with Epstein and Prince Andrew's infamous relationship. Already tired of the Yorks' never-ending problems, the royal family started to pull together. Insiders have said that she is running out of life, and both King Charles and Prince William are committed to modernizing. Long before her death, even the renownedly tolerant Queen Elizabeth II, who had occasionally allowed Fergie to rejoin family get-togethers, was reported to have reached her breaking point. The narrative of Sarah Ferguson is more than just the decline of a single lady. It reflects the monarchy's battle to endure in a time of constant scrutiny. She has been torn between the worlds of royal majesty and desperate celebrity for decades. Every mistake she made, whether it was moral, economical, or personal, drove her farther away from salvation. Fergie's life resembles a royal tragedy, complete with toe-sucking tabloids, cash-for-access deals, and Epstein emails. Harder to earn. The Duchess's desire for love has come to represent scandal, excess, and remorse. She may have also demonstrated the frailty of royal life in her demise. She is running out of lives, according to insiders. Long before her death, even the renownedly tolerant Queen Elizabeth II, who had occasionally allowed Fergie to rejoin family get-togethers, was reported to have reached her breaking point. The narrative of Sarah Ferguson is more than just the decline of a single lady. It reflects the monarchy's battle to endure in a time of constant scrutiny. She has been torn between the worlds of royal majesty and desperate celebrity for decades. Every mistake she made, whether it was moral, economical, or personal, drove her farther away from salvation. Fergie's life resembles a royal tragedy, complete with cash-for-access deals, Epstein emails, and toe-sucking tabloids. One question still stands as the Duchess of York enters her last phase of public life. Will she ever fully recover? Or has her tale already turned into a cautionary tale for the royal family? "I'm the most forgiving person I know," Sarah Ferguson famously said to an interviewer, but forgiveness from the public and the monarchy may be far harder to earn. The Duchess's desire for love has come to represent scandal, excess, and remorse. She may have also demonstrated the frailty of royal life in her demise. What do you think, then? Will this setback help Sarah Ferguson bounce back? Does she have to stay at Royal Lodge? Above all, do you believe that Sarah Ferguson and Prince Andrew's titles should be revoked? Tell us what you think by leaving a comment. Additionally, for more royal news and updates, make sure to subscribe. I appreciate you watching.